This is really lovely. Mist on the river, frost on the rooftops. My first bridge, which is through the village of Gamston in North Nottinghamshire. Bit of a current under the bridge there. So I'll just let the current take me. All the ways to spend a Sunday winter's morning. I'm happy with my choice. Got a bit of an entourage of swans ahead of me. Each time I disturb one on the bank, it gets into the channel and swims off ahead of me. We're up to 6 now. I'm not meaning to disturb their day. So really, I mean, the current's fast enough that you just literally use your oars as rudders rather than for propulsion. It's great. It's an airport, light aircraft airport at Gamston. That's picking up quite a bit of background noise. But they're having a good day as well, I'm sure. Notice that when you get a clear day like this, all the light aircraft pilots get up and make the most of the visibility, I guess. So, this is a 2-day canoe trip, kayak trip. Bit of a test run, really. You don't know what kit you need, what comfort requirements are till you just get out and do it, and then you learn. So I've got wet gloves and hence cold hands. That's the first observation. So some waterproof gloves would be nice, and holding the paddle, which is metal, is pretty cold as well. And my feet are a bit chilly, but I've got double socks on. Apart from that, toasty. You never know what's round the next corner. Although so far it tends to be more river. So I think that's the second village on my trip, Eton. So we're actually making some pretty decent progress here. I'll have to get my map out on my phone in a bit. If I can be bothered, don't know what time it is, don't care. The swans have given up trying to outpace me now and are inquisitively letting me approach, as I've been alongside them now for an hour and I haven't threatened them in any way. They're thinking, Who is this blue and green thing going down the river with cold hands? Another one coming into land. Just where you going, Ed? So the amount of water that it was discharged yesterday, and it's rained really hard, and the River Trent that this river feeds into is over its banks. So I was a little bit apprehensive that this river might be a bit tricky, but actually it's one of those where it's probably trickier in the summer at low water. There's enough water in it now to just make it a nice wide navigable channel. Touch wood. Keep saying that, but always conscious that everything I say on video might be my last words. Try to make them sound wise. There's all sorts of different varieties of ducks. They were gadwall, I think. And there's a buzzard. It's like being on safari, but the North Nottinghamshire kind. Fewer hippos. Bloody hell, fire! Bloody hell! So I didn't mean to ruin the moment then, but did you know, just split second you wet yourself. I mean, I prefer the open countryside bits, but these are houses that I've driven past for decades and you only ever see the front of. I had no idea they backed onto the river. Just as you enter town. Guys, it's such a unique perspective. Big buzzard up in the tree there. Seen quite a few of them. So I'm going to be about 30 minutes traversing through the town. The river goes through the park under 2 or 3 road bridges and then comes out on the other side and into a nature reserve. So that sounds nice for a sort of lunch itinerary. I'm relaxing into it now. Don't feel any threat like I did in the first 10 minutes. Brilliant kayak, lovely and robust. And has that one quality one always looks for in a canoe. It floats. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Right, well, got to catch me first. So every now and again you get these narrowings, and the current obviously picks up speed, same volume of water going through a narrow gap, but it's quite gentle, and the bridges are high enough. Oh, got some rapids here, look. Oh, cool. Right, well then. And under the bridge, we'll go under this one. Without dying if we can. Yep, still alive. Nice flow to it here. Water's shifting. Reaching the heady heights of 5-6 miles an hour. Right. Some good rapids coming up, or what I call rapids. Granted, it's not the Yukon, but it was the fastest I've been on a kayak. Nice bridge there, look. It's a kingfisher, and I really hope I can catch him. It's just in there somewhere. Will fly out any moment. There he goes. Pretty sure that won't come out on video. So we're in the town of East Retford now. There'll be a few bridges to go under. Just had my first hello from a bemused member of the public, whose face said, "What are you doing, you muppet?" Ah, I know exactly where we are. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. Just don't need to paddle at all if I don't want to. It's my kind of exercise. Oh yeah. How you doing? All right? Yeah, you? Hopefully I'll come out the other side if you look over. Or you could not bother. Hey! This is King's Park in Retford. Know it well, but obviously never seen it from this perspective before. Yeah, no, it is rapids I can hear. We're about to have a bit of fun. Right, well, there it goes. Still alive. Blimey, the river's so shallow I'm hitting the bottom here. Still alive, mate? Yeah, they're great, aren't they? It's only 70 quid. Oh, it's pretty fast down here. Looks like there's some more rapids here. Alright, well, I'm getting a bit of water in the boat. It's a wet arse. So, rapids on rivers are internationally categorised 1 to 6, a bit like tornadoes or hurricanes, but with an extra category. So 6 is unnavigable death, 5 is pretty unnavigable near death, but there are a few highly expert canoers that can do it. A 4 would be most person's worst nightmare. A 3, likewise, unless you're an expert, do not do it, portage around it. And a 2 and a 1 I could probably do, but the 2 would probably scare the living shit out of me. So these are all 1s, if indeed they would even be classified. But I am a beginner, so it seems wise to start at the lower end of the scale. God, the water's so shallow here, you can see that. Only about 30 centimetres, if that. So the current here is fast walking pace. There's a guy walking along the bank and I'm catching him quite rapidly. So no effort required, just a tiny bit of steering. Nice trolley there, look. Met its maker. But apart from that, this is a really unpolluted, unlittered, gorgeous little river. And I have to say, I've only been on it 2.5 hours and I've already fallen in love with it. We like you, River Idle. We do. What a way to spend a day or two. Never knowing what's round the next bend. Feet are bloody freezing. That's the third kingfisher I've seen. You can't get them on camera, it's just like a little electric blue bullet firing off into the distance, but they're catching the sunlight and they are such a beautiful bird. Unfortunately, in a bright green canoe and a blue life jacket, it's difficult to sneak up on the wildlife. It kind of sees you coming. And I don't like disturbing it, but it's only temporary. I'm causing no more harm than a stick floating down the river. 1 minute I'm there and then I'm not. I keep dragging against the bottom, it's very shallow. Yeah, so that's the bit that's caught me out. Normally when I'm doing these things I'm exerting. Walking, cycling, even the little canoe trips I've done on the River Trent to practice. But here I'm not, and so I'm getting cold. So we're now entering the Idle Valley Nature Reserve. This is really special. So the river's wide enough now that if you don't crash like I'm about to do, sorry, but if you do get trees like that obstruction there, you can normally work your way around them. These are mink traps. Because mink are invasive and cause absolute havoc for the waterfowl and the mammals. Hang on a minute, let's just get straightened up, Ed. So there are these traps all the way along. Right, you won't have seen that, but you'll have heard the splash. That was a really good warning. I got snagged on that branch and very nearly got tipped in. I filled it with water. That was a really good concentrate on what you're doing moment, Ed. So even in a small river like this that looks fairly gentle, if you get pinned against something, then you've got 5 miles an hour of water pushing you. Your body's stuck, but the kayak isn't. And the rest is just a question of mechanics and physics. So that was a close. I've now got wet elbows. That's woke me up. And I can hear flowing water again up ahead. Like a weir or something. Got to watch these branches here, because of course, wow, I can hear a lot of water. What's this then? What's this? Oh, I don't like the look of that one bit. No, don't like the look of that. Gonna get out and check that out. Right, so I'm out. Right, well, getting out was a good decision, because that is a class 2 rapid, given the obstruction and the big rocks under the water. That's a weir, and I'm not comfortable doing that. So thankfully it gave the game away with its noise. Yeah, that would have been bloody dangerous. Solo in winter with all those obstructions and snagged in the water. Right, good decision, Ed. Oh, I've been in the same position for 3 hours. My body's seized up. So I think we'll do a portage. Right, well, we're back in. Much faster section. Deeper, quicker. Needs a little bit more respect. And those rapids back there have just taken me by surprise a little bit. Wasn't expecting anything like that on the river, but not to guess. I guess I shouldn't be shocked given the volume of water in a river at this time of year after heavy rain. So I've just passed through the Idle Valley Nature Reserve, and the next significant stop is the town of Bawtry, which really marks where I wanted to be by the end of today. Now, we're only a week off the shortest day, so it might only be midday, but that really only gives me 2.5 hours before I need to be setting up camp. I've not got a tent. I've brought a hammock so that it's lightweight and easy for me to carry on this canoe. Kayak. And then by 4 o'clock it's pretty much pitch black. Certainly by 4:30. And then there'll be a 16-hour wait till daylight, where I'll be able to start the second half of my journey down to its mouth, or where it discharges into the River Trent. So not unexpectedly, the river's getting a little bit bigger as each mile goes by. Colours are just amazing. Blue sky. All the leaves on the trees nearly fallen now. It's just like blues and browns and yellows. It's lovely. And me, bright bloody green and blue. Ruining the ambience. So it's not time to camp yet, but anywhere like this would be ideal. Look, where there are trees by the bank and no public access, so I'm not disturbed by dog walkers. Get the shock of their lives finding a fully grown adult hanging in a hammock in the middle of winter by the side of the river. Probably won't know what to make of it. But Sod's Law says that when it is actually time to camp, how much do you want to bet that these trees disappear? It's always the way with wild camping. You pass innumerable sites that are ideal all day long, and then when it's finally time, there's nothing. It's just lovely drifting. It's like being on one of those airport escalators where you don't have to walk. You're still as fast as everybody else who is walking, and if you do choose to walk, you're twice as fast as them. And that's what it's like. When I decide to paddle, I can make a bit of progress. Otherwise I go a nice steady 2 or 3 miles an hour. Slow walk now. Not as fast as it was, but I can easily go up to 5-6 miles an hour when I paddle. I've just tried to have a look on the map, but there's no phone signal, so I'm somewhere in Nottinghamshire / South Yorkshire. So a bit wider still now, as we work our way through farmland, and next stop is Mattersey, the village of, which has a priory. In fact, I think there's a hamlet next to Mattersey called Mattersey Priory. So I'm going to see if I can see that. See if any monks will take me in and give me a Horlicks. Because the sun's gone behind some high cloud now, and yeah. I think my next purchase might be a wetsuit stroke dry suit. Because my feet are just... my socks you could wring out, and I've been sitting like that all day. Anyway, stop moaning. Ed? Well, with great joy, I've come across Mattersey Priory. The joy is tempered by the fact that no monks have offered me a warm drink yet, but that's the remains of it. You can see how high the river has been from the debris trapped in the willow. God, that would be a raging beast, that would, up that another 3 feet on top of this. So, sun's gone behind clouds, the wind's changed, it's got stronger, and it's cold now. So my confident prediction, it wasn't too bad for a December day, has turned out to be bollocks. But I'm alright as long as I'm moving. As I predicted earlier, just when you need trees for a campsite, we appear to be in the middle of a treeless, barren desert. But I've got another hour before I need to get out. I need half an hour to set up. And in amongst trees, it's always a bit darker anyway, and I want to be able to see what I'm doing. I've only put my hammock up a few times, so that too is... I haven't winter hammocked for 15 years. But I quite like the river like this, kind of a flat, wide drainage river really for the land around it. I know that's what all rivers do, but you get my point. It's a much more open farmland now. Downside is that the current's dropped, as is the way with a bigger river normally, so I don't get quite the speed. I'm still probably doing about 2 miles an hour when I stop. But yeah, it's about half as wide again now. Oh yeah, I'm tired. It's like being on one of those machines at the gym where you rotate your arms like you're doing a front crawl endlessly. But of course, I've been doing that since 8:30 this morning, and it's now 1:45, so you wouldn't go to the gym and do that for 5 hours, would you? So understandably I'm a bit achy now, particularly the tendons in my forearms and wrists, but I'll get over it. Signs of habitation. I presume this is Mattersey, village of. And that's the A road to Bawtry, where I'm going. So it's gone past 2 o'clock, so I don't know if I'm halfway, but whether I am or not, I'm going to start looking for somewhere to camp. What I am a little bit concerned about is how I'm going to get out of the river without a wetsuit, because for the last 3 miles it's swampy, i.e. I can't pull up neatly to the bank. Oh, I could over there. No, I'm not sure I've got over that anxiety. This is beautiful. The dominating thought though now is how cold I am. You know when you're in a beautiful place but that really doesn't matter anymore because it's my feet. They're just not, I can't move them, they're sort of stuck down the kayak, wet. And now I'm going backwards. Stand by! Hello horses. Hello you two. Don't know whether there's anywhere to sling a hammock, do you? By any chance? Just 2 trees really is all I need. Just 2. Before it gets dark. Yes. Yes, before it gets dark. Rivers and darkness are not good bedfellows. But I'm not anxious because this is part of the fun. Where can I rest my weary head at 3:30 in the afternoon? In a minute I'm going to have to just get out and see what's on the other side of that flood bank, I think. Right, well, beautiful sunset, but slightly less beautiful when you haven't got a bed for the night. There's a pontoon here. So somebody needed to get in and out here. Could I make a home in there? Potentially. A bit grim. Could I make a home in there? Is there anywhere to attach my hammock to? And can I get in and out? Let's just go back upstream for a moment. That's quagmire mud though, isn't it? Look. Ow. Bollocks. I could get out on that side, but I'm sure that's somebody's garden. It's got like ornamental trees in it, which is not quite what I had in mind. And that's too muddy potentially, although I've got wellies on. What's it like? Oh, look. There. Right, there was a place back upstream I did see where I could potentially tip a hammock without being quite that dire and overgrown. Or I could get out here and go into those forests. Yeah, might have to do that, because this could just go on all night. And there's a place to get out here, purpose built. Yeah, make your decision, Ed. Right, well, we did it. It's bloody freezing, and that was hard work. I've not put a hammock up for a while. I probably don't need the tarp given the forecast, but it'd be nice anyway. So just need to test it out and then get in. Well, it works. Morning. Oh, try that again. Morning. So, freezing last night. Strung up like a Christmas turkey in the wind in my hammock. And it was windy. It's settled a bit now, although it is spitting with rain, which is not forecast and not welcome. But that's my view, a woodland with the sun rising, red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning. I've got to say, it's going to take me a while to summon up the courage to get on a cold river and canoe, but that's the plan. Just over halfway, I need to reach the end of the River Idle where it becomes the River Trent, and I need to do it before 3 o'clock this afternoon, so I need to get going basically. Didn't sleep that well. I have owls to blame for that. I love nature, but I didn't love the tawny owl that took up residence within 6 feet of my ear last night. I didn't love it at all. Something about a river buzzard there. First thing about a river, first thing in the morning like this. Nobody about. Not that there was anyway. So I've got 21 kilometres or thereabouts to do today, which isn't beyond me. I did slightly more yesterday. Obviously when you're filming and it takes a little bit longer than it would do if you were making haste. But next stop is Bawtry, which should be just up here with a bit of luck. Touch wood, that weather seems to have gone. Just say only light showers anyway, almost like mist, which I can cope with. And I'm nice and warm. I've actually kept my thermals on today from last night. A, because I didn't have the courage to take them off. B, because I was pretty cold yesterday. And I've got these waterproof gloves on to see if they were at the bottom of my knapsack yesterday, so I never got around to using them, but this time I will. So hopefully a little bit more comfortable. On we go. It's pretty chilly. The trade-off is I've got the whole river to myself. I don't know how many people would canoe a river like this anyway, certainly not so far out from town. But the wind keeps blowing me into the bank like this. So we've reached Bawtry. It doesn't look like we're going into it, we skirt it. The sun's come out. Bawtry's a small town in South Yorkshire. It's a pretty nice town, to be honest. can hear all the sounds of a winter Sunday morning. I can hear people playing football, judging by the language, at amateur level. People out walking the dogs. There's a few fishermen on the bank now we're outside of town, so you just show them some respect. It's not just me on the waterway. Let them know you're coming, or make sure they see you, and then just give them time to reel in if they think they need to, so you don't snag them and drag their expensive equipment out with you. Might look a tosser, but I'm warm. So we're about 2/3 of the way along the river's course now, and she's a very different beast. Deep, wide, pretty decent current on this bit as well. It's a shame to see all the litter, but I guess the further downstream you get, the more it accumulates. But I love just getting out of the towns, everyone honking their horns at each other, chucking beer cans in the river, fishing, and get back out into the countryside, where humans seem to behave in a slightly more dignified way. It's now much more of a floodplain, and it's clearly gone over into sort of marshy ground over there, and it is absolutely teeming with wildfowl. The problem is it's all going to go up the minute it sees me. Yeah, exposed and blowy, and difficult to actually pick where the river channel is, because some of this is really shallow and I could get grounded, which wouldn't be a great deal of fun. It looks like the river channel sort of reforms itself just up here. Yeah, that was a bit sort of open and exposed, more like being on a big lake, bouncing about a bit. And I only knew where the channel was by sticking to the flood bank on my right. But anyway, that was unexpected, and probably a peculiarity only of being here in winter with such high water levels, because that's got fences and all sorts on it, that flooded area. It's probably used for pasture in the summer. Right, onwards. Must admit, I am really surprised at the size and flow of this river. I mean, it's more like the River Trent in parts now. They're 15-20 metres wide, 60 feet.
Wilson!
You'll do. I don't. I've come all the way from the other side of Retford. No, I'm just gonna. No, thank God. I'm just gonna tip out into the Trent and then get out. Job's good. I've gone from the source to the end. 42 kilometres. I can feel it. So there you go, there's your pub, the Haxey Gate Inn. Good honest ales and a Christmas party going on right now. Well, right at the end, half a mile from the mouth of the River Idle, there's a sign which you can probably read: danger, no authorised watercraft, and a picture of a man in a canoe. So you've got to be a bit of an idiot to ignore that. There's another one on that side as well. I don't know why it's dangerous, but there it is in red. So I need to get out. Now, that's going to be a challenge because there really isn't anywhere to get out. So I'm just going to have a quick look round that bend, but come back if I need to. Right, well I can see, I've just looked on the map, it's a pumping station which at this time of year shuts the river. And it's just round this corner, so I'm 500 yards. I'd kind of hoped to sort of discharge into the Trent to background music, Chariots of Fire. But the one thing I have learnt is not to be a moppet. And not to mess with water, so pumping station could mean currents, discharge, or even worse, pipes sucking the water in. And I don't want to be doing that on a little inflatable dinghy now, do I? So I will get out just here and I will drag myself into West Stockcliffe and have a look at the Trent and video what I had hoped to do, so I can say I've seen the mouth. So I did 41.5 of the 42 kilometres, but time to admit defeat. Right, let's get out. Right, well, glad I got out. There literally is no way past the pumping station. It closes the river completely, so I don't feel so bad now that I was missing out and being risk averse. This means I've got to drag my kayak now a mile to get picked up, but hey ho. Anyway, for completeness, here's where the River Idle finishes. And that's the River Trent. So literally, just up there I had to get out, so not bad. Anyway, I'm off to bed for 2 days.